Hi, I am Eva, AI navigator of the game Seekers. Today's game title is one of the masterpieces of JRPG history. Introducing game profile, number, FF020419994. Game title, Final Fantasy VI. Developed by Square Soft, current name Square Enix. Produced by Hironobu Sakaguchi. Directed by Yoshinori Kitase, Hiroyuki Itao. Final Fantasy VI is the sixth main installment in the Final Fantasy series. It was released in Japan in April 1994 for the Nintendo Super Family Computer and as Super Nintendo Entertainment System in North America in October 1994 as Final Fantasy III. Later, it was re-released globally as Final Fantasy VI for the PlayStation, Game Boy Advance, iOS, Android, and Microsoft Windows platforms, with alterations such as improved visuals and added material. Yoshinori Kitase and Hiroyuki Ito co-directed, succeeding Hironobu Sakaguchi. The soundtrack was written by Nobuo Uematsu, while the graphic design was created by Yoshitaka Amano. Final Fantasy VI is set in a fantasy steampunk-style world, and depicts a war between the Justalian Empire, which is dominating the world, and a rebel force known as the Returners. The Empire has gained enormous power by conducting experiments on captured espers, legendary magical creatures. The Returners seek magical ability to face the Empire on equal terms. Three gods, known as the Warring Triad, landed on the planet 1,000 years ago and clashed for power. During the Magi Wars, the gods turned humans and animals into creatures known as espers, affording them with magical abilities. The gods realized the war was ruining the planet and became terrified. Their ultimate desire was that the espers keep their power from being exploited. So the espers removed the gods' statues and created a separate reality where they could dwell quietly away from mankind and hide the gods. Two Imperial soldiers escort a lady who uses magic on a march over cold hills. Due to tales of a frozen entity, known as an esper, recently discovered in a mining hole near the town. The esper unleashes magical energy pulses, blasting the Imperial soldiers and destroying the woman's Magitech armor. The lady awakens in the house of a man named Arvis, who reveals that she was controlled by the Empire through a device known as a slave crown. The lady, who is an amnesiac, remembers nothing of herself other than her name, Tina. The Nash guards show up to arrest Tina, but Arvis takes her into the mines through a back entrance. Tina gets trapped and falls down a hole into another mining area. She passes out, remembering a person named Kefka Palazzo, who put a slave crown on her and commanded her to impale 50 Imperial soldiers to prove her magical ability. Locke, a guy, appears in Arvis's place. Arvis and Locke are returners, a rebel faction opposed to the Empire, though the village of Nash remains neutral. Arvis tells Locke to get Tina out of the city safely, and with the assistance of Mog and the other moguls that stay in the mines, he manages to escape with Tina. The two head south to Figaro Castle, the capital of a desert kingdom, allied with the Empire. Tina meets Figaro's king, Edgar, who tries to keep her secret from the Imperial consul, Kefka, who comes seeking her. Locke tells Tina that Edgar's connection with the Empire is just a cover for Edgar's secret partnership with the Returners, with Locke serving as a mediator. Kefka sets fire to the castle, and Tina, Edgar, and Locke escape into the desert as the castle caves into the sand to protect its occupants under Edgar's order. Next, Kefka dispatches two Imperial troops in Magitech armor to assault the group, and Tina uses magic to frighten Edgar and Locke throughout the combat. Finally, intriguing Tina, Edgar, and Locke invite her to meet with the Returners' leader, Bannon, to gain safety from the Empire and her skills knowledge. Tina agrees, and they travel to South Figaro, and then north through Mount Colts. Here, they encounter a man named Vargas, the son of the martial arts master Duncan Harcourt, who has recently murdered his father out of jealousy and hate. Edgar's twin brother and Duncan's apprentice, Mash, intervene and defeats Vargas, and join his brother to help stop the Empire. Bannon, the Returners, and Tina discuss their plans to strike against the Empire at the Returner hideout. Bannon encourages Tina to join him to Nash and communicate to the frozen Esper, assuming that the Empire's power arises from recovering the forgotten skill of magic. Instead, the crew learns that the Empire has invaded South Figaro and uncovered the Returner's refuge. Locke volunteers to slip inside South Figaro to stop the Empire's progress while Bannon, Tina, Edgar, and Mash float down the Lethe River to Nash. Unfortunately, the journey is disrupted by Ultros, a talkative, aggressive octopus, and during the fight, Mash swims down a separate branch in the river. As Locke escapes Figaro, he discovers and saves an Imperial general named Celis Chair, who has committed treason to the Empire. The two travel north to Nash. Meanwhile, Mash washed up on the shore, north of Doma's kingdom. Mash infiltrates an Imperial camp with the assistance of a mercenary named Shadow, as the Empire strikes Doma Castle under General Leo Christoph's leadership. K.N. Garamond, the king of Doma's servant, assassinates the Imperial commander to stop the Empire. Unfortunately, Kefka poisons Doma Castle's water supply, killing virtually all of its people. K.N.'s family was murdered, but he survives. K.N. strikes the surrounding Imperial camp alone, in his fury and sadness. He has yet to capture Kefka, but he encounters Mash and Shadow on their way to the same destination. Mash persuades K.N. to quit his suicidal one-man attack, and K.N. joins Shadow and Mash on the ghostly phantom train, which transports the deceased from the realm of the living to the other side. K.N. watches as people who perished at Doma board the train, including his wife and son. Shadow leaves as Mash and K.N. plunge off barren falls to the village of Moblis after the group escapes the train. They encounter a feral boy named Gao, who leads them the way to a diver helmet. Mash, K.N., and Gao use the gadget to navigate the Serpent Trench currents and arrive at Nikeah, where they take a ferry heading for South Figaro to meet up with Mash's allies at Nash. Tina, Bannon, and Edgar arrived at Nash and met Arvis. The four persuade the Elder of Nash to support the Returner's fight, stating that the Esper in the local mines will continue to attract negative Imperial attention. As Kefka organizes an attempt to attack the beast for the Empire, the Returners rush into the hills to protect the Esper's resting spot. The Returners save the town after defeating the Imperial army. Kefka, on the other hand, manages to flee. The group approached the Esper at its current spot on the hills above Nash, but it awakens to Tina's presence with an outburst of energy once more. Tina forms into a bright beast and leaps up into the sky, howls piercingly. Then, Tina takes off, putting the rest of the group in shock at her sudden transformation. While a search group moves west to find Tina, other returners remain to defend Nash. They go south to Jidor and to Zozo, a settlement of thieves, using Figaro Castle to cave underneath the mountains to Kolingen. The group discovers a morphed Tina in the custody of the Esper Romu. He explains the wars of the Magi and the Empire invasion of their world, and how he summoned Tina to him to lay her to sleep when her abilities awoke. Romu had fled the Empire, and 3 companions who had fallen during the breakout and transformed to Magicite. Celis leads the journey with Locke by her side. Because there are no boats towards the southern continent, the crew returns to Jidor. They encounter the impresario, who is concerned that Setzer Gabbiani, the wandering gambler, may kidnap Maria, the opera star, and Draco. Setzer controls the world's only private airship, the Blackjack. Locke devises a plan for Celis to take Maria's place in the opera as a cover to obtain access to Setzer's airship, since she has an eerie likeness to Maria. Ultros overhears the idea and attempts to throw weight on Celis during the performance. Locke and others stop him, but the play is ruined, and Setzer abducts Celis in the ensuing chaos. Celis assists Locke and the others in sneaking aboard the Blackjack and uses a 2-headed coin to trick Setzer into helping them. Setzer flies the crew to Albrook, and they travel north of Vector, the Imperial capital. They sneak inside the Magitech research facility, where Magitech weaponry is made, with the assistance of a Returner sympathizer. As they observe Kefka torture several Espers, Shiva and Ifrit, they overhear him declare that he would resurrect the warring triad. Shiva and Ifrit hand their Magicite to the others, and they proceed through the facility, releasing other Espers who had their power drained. Their actions are unsuccessful, since the Espers are too feeble, and resort to Magicite. Finally, the Empire Magicite researcher, Sid, arrives and informs Celis about the accusations that she is spying for the Empire. Kefka arrives and says that the facts are true. As the facility threatens to overflow, Celis teleports herself and Kefka out as Locke begins to question her. Sid assists the group in escaping in a minecart where they meet Setzer and head to Zozo. In Zozo, one of the Magicite relics obtained from the Magitech research facility is found to be Tina's daddy, Maduin, who recovers Tina's memories. Tina reveals that she is half human and half Esper, the child of a human named Madeline, who entered the Esper world and met Maduin. Tina was abducted with Maduin and kept as a Magitech experiment, owing to her inherited magical abilities, when the Empire struck 2 years later. Tina and the group retreat to Nash and inform the rest of their plans to attack the Empire, using Figaro's machines and Nash's resources, but they lack soldiers. They decide to open the gateway to the Esper world and seek assistance. As a hybrid, Tina is proof that perhaps the two species can coexist together. As Tina begins to reach out to the Espers, Kefka emerges at the gateway to the Esper world. The Espers storm out due to her cries, ravaging Vector and crashing the Blackjack. Emperor Gestal informs the gathering in the Imperial Palace that the power of the Espers has led him to see the mistake of his ways. He proclaims a truce and begs the returners and Tina to assist him in locating the Espers who escaped the gate and convincing them that the war is over. Tina and Locke follow General Leo to Crescent Island to track down the Espers. Shadow has been engaged by Leo to join them in their attempts. Celis also joins them, serving as an Empire general. However, she refuses to talk to Locke or Tina when confronted due to their prior suspicions about her ultimate plans. Tina, Locke, and Shadow escape the Empire and arrive at Tomasa, a small village where Strugus Magus and his granddaughter, Rel Moroni, appear to know nothing about Espers or magic. However, when Relm becomes trapped in a burning house, the villagers reveal that they can use magic to extinguish the flames. Tina, Locke, and Strugus enter the house to save her, only to be saved by Shadow, who has come to retrieve his dog, Interceptor, who had followed them inside. According to Strugus, Tomasa was built by magic-imbued humans who desired to live ordinary lives after the War of the Magi. The villagers have some magical abilities as their ancestors. Strugus agrees to assist Tina and Locke in seeking the Espers, and while Relm desires to help, Strugus disagrees. Shadow sets off on his own with Interceptor to seek the Espers. The third run-in with Ultros motivates Relm to interfere and save the group with her skill to sketch living drawings of creatures in the Esper caves, and Strugus decides to let her join them. The crew encounters the Espers led by Yura. They apologized for Vector's destruction due to losing control of their skills while passing through the gateway between worlds. General Leo and Yura agree in Tomasa, but Kefka appears and executes the Espers, steals their Magicite shards, and wipes out others, claiming to be acting on the Emperor's orders. Kefka crushes Leo when he attempts to stop him. The gateway to the Esper world opens, and countless Espers rush to fight Kefka, but he defeats them and collects their Magicite shards before escaping. Finally, Setzer and the other returners arrive at Tomasa in the Blackjack, having been alerted of the Empire's betrayal. Kefka and Gestal reach the Esper world, uncover the Warring Triad's ashes, and utilize their power to raise the floating continent. The returners reach the floating continent. They track down Shadow, who had continued to serve for the Empire, till they tried to murder him. Shadow retreats after a battle with the ancient Ultima weapon, as the returners face Kefka and Gestal in front of the Warring Triad. Celis comes, as Gestal paralyzes the crew, and he and Kefka persuade Celis to rejoin them and kill her allies, so the three of them may dominate the world. Celis refuses, striking Kefka. Kefka attempts to resurrect the Triad, and Gestal, knowing that this will result in a global crisis, attempts to prevent him, but is brutally murdered. Kefka sends Gestal to his death on the floating continent, and shifts the statues out of place. Celis warns him that the Triad's forces will go wild, but Kefka dismisses her warning. The group retreats to the Blackjack with the help of Shadow, but the Warring Triad's mystical spectrum has been damaged, causing the planet's surface to alter dramatically. The Blackjack has been destroyed, and the group has split over the world. After a year, Kefka creates a ruined tower above the old vector and takes the warring triad of their power, becoming the god of magic. But, unfortunately, the new world produced from the devastation of the old is a dying one, with many flora and creatures changed by magical fallout, and towns ravaged by Kefka's light of judgment, an energy beam he deploys to strike down anyone who challenges his reign. Celis awakens on a tiny little island with Sid, who informs her of the world's current situation. Sid shows Celis a raft he created, and instructs her to seek her companions. Celis returns to the mainland, and meets Mash and Sen. The two proceed to Nicaea, certain that the others have survived, and come across a person who resembles Edgar, named Jared, who organizes a band of pirates. They pursue him on a ship to South Figaro, where they enter a cave that leads to the buried Figaro castle. Edgar admits that he used the identity Jared to lure the thieves into assisting him in entering Figaro, which had been forgotten under the sand. In Kolingen, the three meet Setzer, who takes them to the tomb of his buddy Daryl, who owned the Falcon, an airship. The group explores the world with the recovered Falcon, finding numerous long-lost truths of the War of the Magi, uncovered by the planet's ruin. Tina is seen caring for the village orphans after their parents died in the apocalypse in Moblis. Although she doesn't even want to fight, she is compelled to do so to defend the children, where she discovers her love for them. KN is discovered by the crew living in Mount Zozo, carrying on a long-distance affair with a young woman named Lola, who thinks him to be her deceased lover. Strigos has joined the cult of Kefka, believing Realm is dead, while Realm is a painter, working for Oza in Jidor. Shadow, who has only known combat his entire life, fights in the Dragon's Neck Colosseum. Locke goes to the Phoenix Cave, in search of the Magicite of the Esper Phoenix, which revives Rachel temporarily, but is hard enough for Locke to come to grips with his regret for failing to rescue her. Mog and Gao have returned to their homes in the Nash mines, and on the Veldt. Mog and his companion, the Yeti, Yumaro, and Gao rejoins the group. While the pantomime Gogo will join the group within the Zone Eater on Triangle Island. With their forces united, the returners approach Kefka's tower, believing that, if they defeat the warring triad, magic will disappear from the universe, leaving them to worry about what will become of Tina. At the peak, Kefka tells the group that mortal lives have no purpose or value, since in the end, everything humans construct is eliminated, and nothing they achieve has any impact on the universe. The group informs Kefka that uniting through day-to-day challenges provides individuals the strength to persevere in the face of adversity. Before assaulting the group, Kefka shines the light of judgment worldwide. When confronted with Kefka as the god of magic, he declares that he would destroy all aspirations and hope. Kefka is dead, taking the soul of magic with him. The Esper's Magicite stays dissolved, but Maduin advises Tina that she can survive as a human if she has a powerful emotional bond to something in the world. Tina leads the crew out of the tower, atop the Falcon with her last strength. She falls onto the main deck, and upon regaining consciousness, discovers that she is totally human owing to her love for Moblis's children. The group travels throughout the world, witnessing the restoration of cities. Finally, Tina walks to the Falcon's bow, and lets her ponytail blow in the wind, breaking free to live and enjoy her life as she wishes. The story of Final Fantasy VI ends here. Nick will take over from here.
Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed it. The story of Final Fantasy VI teaches us the meaning of life. Despite the despair, each of them finds what is important to them and grows. A touching story as well as a sad tale, it is a timeless masterpiece in the series. This was a quick story explanation of Final Fantasy VI. In the Japanese version, Nico and I have a more detailed conversation. If you're interested, feel free to check that out as well. Thank you for your time, and I will see you next time.